Kifft schon wieder einer zu viel? Ich gehe wieder rein. Ich verstecke mir hinten und wenn alles wieder gut ist, gehe ich wieder raus. Wo zur Hölle sind wir? Sind wir irgendwo auf der Map? Nein, wir sind einfach weg. Also diese riesigen Blumen waren definitiv vorher nicht da. Paimon, beruhig dich. Die Welt der Krogs. Die heißen Krogs übrigens, bis wir sie finden. Tief einatmen. Ja, erstmal eine Runde kiffen, ne? Sumero, Land der Kiffer. Da gibt's bestimmt eine Menge Schwarzmarktdealer, Alter. Oh nein, Spambot. Sehr gut. Danke, Bips.
Wow, this place is huge. Paimon knew there's something off about that cave. Let's think of a way to get over there and have a closer look. Who knows? Maybe we'll find a lead of some kind.
Das erinnert mich ein bisschen an die Höhle, wo wir in der Kluft gefunden haben. Ah, Hüpfpilz in der Sphäre. In Sumerosphären sind manchmal diese Hüpfpilze anzutreffen. Aus unerklärlichen und wohl sehr faszinierenden Gründen gehören diese Pilze jedoch nicht zu den Trilakshana-Kreaturen. Ich weiß nicht mehr, was Trilakshana-Kreaturen sind. Hallo? Oh, das war's schon. Ups. Und... Ich find's ein bisschen doof, dass man es nicht steuern kann. Nein! Du Sack. Oh, da kann ich so hin. Tor der Wiedergeburt aktiviert. Also jetzt sind wir definitiv ziemlich high. Warte, was? Inazuma? Warte. Hä? Was fragst du mich das? Ich atme nur ein. Oh, hallo Truhe. Alles klar. Weiter geht's. Das wird ein Ritt. Der Urbernstein in der Sphäre. Manchmal sind Urbernsteine und der Pfad in den Bernsteine versiegelt. In den Sphären ist Sumero anzutreffen. Sammle 3 Urbernsteine in diese Sphäre, um den entsprechenden Pfad zu öffnen. Wie kannst du bei so guten Videos noch nicht die Million haben? Zuerst mal danke und zweitens, weil es zu viele YouTuber gibt. Und zu viele große. Und ich nicht glaube, dass ich ganz so gut bin. Aber das muss jeder für sich selbst entscheiden. Achso, ja, einen guten Abend, Tina. Und ich schreie wahrscheinlich zu wenig rum. Also außer in Xenoblade 3, da riecht's mich auf. 2. Hab ich 2 gesagt? Ich glaube jetzt. Oh, Hitlichurs. Was würde ich nur ohne euch machen?
Gotcha. Born of ice and frost.
Eigentlich 5 Millionen. Ich denke mal manchmal, ich wüsste gar nicht, ob ich so viele haben wollte.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over.
Und den ich schaue tatsächlich am besten.
Take it easy.
Freut mich zu hören. Dann stapel ich nur mittig. Oh, ich bin ein kleiner Schmetterling. Nein, ich... Oh, verdammt, das ist auch Zelda, das ist die Navi. Oh, die nervt nur. Ja, das ist schon ein ziemlicher Trip, was wir jetzt hier machen, oder? Fliege ich eigentlich irgendwo hin, oder passiert was? Ja doch, ich bewege mich. Was ist denn das? Elementarreaktion. Okay. Ich habe natürlich Genshin Impact entdeckt. Freut mich immer wieder zu hören, wenn ich jemanden so in einem Spiel bringen kann, das mir selber gefällt. Das ist ein Lebewesen von Hydrokraft und Dendrokraft betroffen, trifft die Reaktion Sprießen ein. Dendrokern entsteht. Gleichzeitig kann es nur eine bestimmte Anzahl von Dendrokernen geben. Bla 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 bla. Okay. Ach, als ob ich mir das merken könnte. Sumeru ist schon echt cool. Und durch. Vor allem durch. Halt, warte mal. Achso, da oben war so ein Ding. Vorhin sage ich noch irgendwie, ja, wer weiß, ob die nicht stören, wenn die irgendwann sind. Ich übersehe die ja jetzt schon. Oh, da ist der nächste. Hui. Hey, das ist Betrug, so groß waren die gar nicht. Die PVZ-Version, was meinst du? Wow.
What in Tibet is going on here? This place is getting weirder by the minute. Hey, what's the matter? You don't look so good.
Jetzt mal ernsthaft, wie wollen wir das jemandem erzählen? Ja, also wir sind in eine Höhle gegangen, waren dann plötzlich da irgendwo, wo riesige Blüten waren. Dann plötzlich sind 3 Steine um uns rumgeschwebt und wir sind durch die Gegend. Das Universum war überall. Klingt logisch, oder? Ich persönlich finde Sumeru bisher besser als Inazuma. Naja, Inazuma ist an Japan angelehnt, da hat es bei mir schon verloren. Der Rest. Meinte PC. Nee, das, also Genshin ist grundsätzlich kostenlos. Hallo? Warum kann ich dich nicht nehmen? Wo weiter geht's da weiter? Auch nicht. Ach Gott. Ja. Schieb's auf das Gras und die Pilze. Und den Nebel nicht vergessen. Der Nebel. Guten Abend, Groll. Naja, weil es auch schon, wenn du es einsammeln kannst, dass du dich da hinstellen musst. Alles klar, der Trip geht weiter. Wir schweben. Das Universum. Wo zur Hölle sind wir denn jetzt schon wieder? Ich dachte, jetzt geht's langsam mal raus. Ich stehe im Licht unter einer großen Blume. Was ist denn das? War das ein Fatui? Oh.
Looks like we meet again, traveler.
The Abyss Herald! What are you planning to do in this
about such things. They don't concern you.
Jetzt kommt's mir erst. Kann das sein, dass diese ganzen Abgrundboten vielleicht auch als Sumero kommen? Ich meine, die haben doch schon so viel geraucht. Hört ihr denn ihre Stimme an? Wie verraucht das die ist? Die kiffen den ganzen Tag nur.
Gotcha.
No touching. This is long overdue.
Things are about to get dicey. Take it easy.
Mitwisser des Ohms. Ey, das nervt mich, dass ich die nicht killen kann.
Time to go.
Busted.
Warte mal, ich kann den gar nicht... Hä?
Born of ice and frost.
Ah, ich kann den gar nicht besiegen. Ich dachte mir so, hä, irgendwie geht es nicht weg.
Why can't we beat this guy? Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. We faced others like him before. What's wrong this time?
Traveler, though you may have managed to avert countless crises before, your good fortune was bound to end sooner or later. It's time you realize how weak and powerless you really are.
Dies wird nicht mein Ende sein. Ich werde meine Schwester finden.
Your sister. Oh, pitiful traveler. Are you really so ignorant? Or are you just living in complete denial? Her Highness has long since forsaken you. Your meager existence in her eyes is that of an annoying bug, only to be stepped upon. The bonds of love and family which drive you to find your sibling are utterly gone. Your journey is meaningless. But don't you fret now. Today will be your last. Now die!
Mhm. Ist der Trip jetzt zu Ende? Seltsam, was ist gerade passiert. Ein Moment lang war es wie ein Traum, aber ich kann mich nicht mehr daran erinnern, worum es ging.
What do we do? We haven't seen Hypatia anywhere out here. Oh, there she is! Quick, let's see how she's doing.
So sweet.
Well, the good news is that she's still conscious. Hey, why'd you drop her food on the floor like that?
Also das schaut halt eher nach einem Essen aus, was die halt noch mehr in den Rausch versetzt. Außer die Fleischbällchen. Die schauen ein bisschen roh aus. Ich muss wohl in Gedanken versunken sein.
Are you okay? That's really not like you. Anyways, we can talk about this later. We better make sure she's alright first. Whoa! Wait a sec. Look at all this fruit lying around her. We can put that to good use.
Ihr gebt der halbbewussten Hypatia Wasser und Saft zu trinken und nach einer Weile.
Who is there? Tainari, is that you? Huh?
It's okay. You can relax, Hypatia. Tainari sent us here to bring you some food and water. Here, we have a letter that he asked us to give you.
Ihr gebt den Brief von Tainari an Hypatia weiter.
I see. So, you're friends of Tainari. I apologize for all the trouble I've caused you. I'm grateful that you came so quickly to save me. You even brought all this fruit.
Well, actually, we didn't bring the fruit. It was already here when we arrived. We were kind of wondering about that, actually. When we found you here, there was all this fruit lying around and even some juice dripping from your lips. How did you end up like this anyway?
Oh, really? I seem to understand now. All the fruit was likely from my, neighbor. Must have come by and saw me like this.
Your neighbor? You mean there's someone else living nearby?
Es ist ein kleines rundes Wesen.
Oh? So you're able to see them too?
Ja, ich bin mittlerweile ziemlich gut im Kiffen. Paimon und Paisa, was passiert ist, als du die Höhle betratst?
Wait, hold on a second, traveler. You say that before we arrived, you saw some mysterious creature and suddenly had a strange dream? Isn't that a little too crazy to believe?
No, I actually do believe what the traveler is saying. I myself had a similar experience once before and ended up scaring my timid little neighbor here. You needn't worry. They mean you no harm. They only dragged you into the dream because they hoped to buy themselves a little time in order to scurry away.
So, Hypatia, just what kind of creature is your neighbor exactly?
Das ist ein Krog aus Zelda.
I'm not sure what it's called, to be honest. But I do know that they have some sort of deeper connection with the Dendro Archon. I know this because the first time I saw them was also the exact day my consciousness was able to form a connection with Irminsul. Even after I opened my eyes and stopped meditating, my heart was still pounding, and my mind was racing with all the knowledge that I had touched. And at that very moment, I suddenly noticed a small figure at the opening of the cave. In my curiosity, I began to walk over to the creature. They must have already been used to me living in the cave, because they didn't seem to mind me approaching them. They just kept doing whatever they were up to. It wasn't until I crouched down next to them that they suddenly realized that I could see them.
Oh, and then?
And then I had a dream. By the time I came to, they were nowhere to be seen. I was convinced they'd never show up again. But sure enough, I saw them nearby a few days later. And they weren't alone. I feel like they aren't as afraid of me as the first time I approached them. But I never would have expected them to save me.
Das ist wirklich ein faszinierendes Lebewesen.
Yes, no doubt about that. By the way, Tighnari mentioned in his letter that you had questions for me regarding Irminsul.
Oh nein, Durchfall.
Sorry about that. Sounds like just drinking juice still isn't quite enough for my stomach.
Well, if somebody hadn't dropped the food earlier. Anyway, looks like we'll need to prepare something ourselves. Besides, Paimon's getting hungry too. Let's eat first and talk about Irminsul later. All right, we're up, traveler. Today's menu will feature sweet madame and a radish veggie soup. You'll love them, Hypatia. They're our specialties after all.
Sounds good. I've never tried any dishes from other nations before. I certainly look forward to it. It's been so long since I've had a decent meal, too. To be honest, the last time had to be when Tighnari came to visit.
So, jetzt halt. Guten Abend Asil, guten Abend Bandy, guten Abend Omar. Abenteuerlevel bin ich 57 und Tina freut mich, wenn es dir gefällt, mein ganzes Zeug. Und sorry, wenn ich immer ein bisschen spät antworte, aber ich will mal in Sequenzen nicht reinlabern. Das ist für mich so ein kleines, nennen wir es Gesetz. Was ist das? Oh, ein Weißkohl. Ja, ich verstecke meinen Weißkohl auch immer in so Statuen. Boah, Autogramm von mir gibt's eigentlich noch gar nicht. Das einzige, was es momentan gibt, ist der Merch-Shop mit den T-Shirts. Oder was auch immer du das Motiv drauf haben wirst. Essen zubereiten. Warte mal, was wollten die haben? War das Essen irgendwie ein Lagerfeuer zu? Geht der Stream wieder bis 22 Uhr?
Let's use the empty box that Tighnari gave us since we already watched it.
Zwischen 22 Uhr und 23 Uhr, irgendwas in der Richtung.
Oh, it smells amazing. And the box is a nice touch too. Let's go serve this up and start eating with Hypatia.
Der schaut doch noch was aus wie ein paar Fleischbällchen und ein paar Pilze.
Are you already finished cooking? Mmm, smells delectable. I'm truly thankful whenever I can enjoy a proper meal like this. Cooking really isn't my forte.
Oh, gleich mein ganzes Hähnchen gemacht. Leisten zubereitet Essen. In der Büchse befindet sich süß mariniertes Hühnchen und Rettichsuppe, hoffentlich. Ach, da ist die Rettichsuppe. Ich genieße die Mahlzeit mit Hypatia. Nach dem Essen erzählst du von ihrem Erlebnis, als du mit Irminsul verbunden
Even
warst.
though everything you mentioned was in Tighnari's letter, it's still hard to believe you were able to connect with Irminsul immediately after smelling Spiritborn eel for the first time. It took me nearly 3 years before I could do so. And everyone at the Academia even lauded me as a genius.
Tja, ich komm rein, kiff eine Runde und bin sofort verbunden. Ich bin halt ein Naturtalent.
You should know that some researchers spend their entire lives without ever successfully connecting with Irminsul as you have.
So why does this incense allow people to connect to Irminsul?
The ingredients used to make Spiritborn eel primarily consist of plants created by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. These special ingredients are conducive to heightening our senses to the Dendro Archon's power. Since the root of the Dendro Archon's power lies within Irminsul, we can occasionally tap into her powers to peer into the depths of the earth.
Ich glaube, ich verstehe.
Naturally, anyone who can establish a connection with Irminsul in their first ever attempt must be a person of great understanding.
Makes sense. But Paimon's got a question. Why was he sensitive to the smell of those plants for such a long time?
That was primarily due to his body's unique constitution. Stimulated by the incense, he could perceive the Dendro Archon's power and experienced a sensory overload, hence the adverse reactions. Taking in any scent similar to the ingredients of Spiritborn eel would cause adverse effects. Not to worry, though. It appears you've already fully recovered. Technically, your body should still be sensitive to the powers of the Dendro Archon, but unless you're using intentional meditation techniques, the scent of Spiritborn eel should no longer trigger such reactions.
Whew. Well, that's a relief.
I must admit, I am quite envious of your abilities. Even if it meant suffering from pounding headaches for the rest of my life, I'd consider it worthwhile so long as I could connect with Irminsul at will.
Whoa. You're really serious about this whole thing, aren't you?
I am a researcher after all. As a member of the Ritaoist Darshan at the Academia, my main area of research is the stars and their connection to the fate of living beings. But there is still so much we don't know, especially regarding the mysteries that lie in the starry skies. Which is why I must turn to the all-knowing Irminsul for answers. If only my perception wasn't so limited. Unfortunately, I cannot guarantee that my every attempt to attune with Irminsul will be successful, or that doing so will leave my consciousness intact. I am currently in the stage of training known as Satyavada life. Many researchers in Sumeru have lost their minds while seeking to attune with Irminsul during this stage. Sages have said that Irminsul contains divine knowledge, and touching such knowledge without the proper preparations and abilities will only lead to one's mind caving in on itself. That's why we meditate alone. We need to ensure that our minds will be calm while minimizing the possibility of involving anyone else.
Whoa. So knowledge from Irminsul can be super dangerous. Aren't you afraid of the risks, Hypatia?
Of course I do. Especially during nights that are pitch black with no moonlight, and dead silent without even the sound of insects. However, I've been feeling better as of late. I don't get as scared anymore knowing that I have a little neighbor living nearby. I believe that being able to see them is a sort of blessing from the Dendro Archon. But what's strangest of all is that they're clearly an envoy of the God of Wisdom herself. And they have the curious power to make people dream.
What's so strange about that? It doesn't sound so out of place for a divine being, does it?
Well, it's strange because nearly nobody in Sumeru can ever dream.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, to an extent. Only children can dream in Sumeru. Adults, however, never do. The sages say that wisdom implies rationality, but that which occurs in dreams is often neither rational nor logical.
Ups. Das erinnert mich an einen Traum, den ich gesehen habe. Gute Nacht, Mel.
Yes, if one struggles with anxieties, those emotions could influence their dreams. The fact that the people of Sumeru do not have dreams is seen as a blessing by the sages. They believe that Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, the god of wisdom, is keeping us away from the foolish delusions you encounter in your sleep. I was born into a family of scholars in Sumeru City. Ever since I was a child, my parents would always tell me that I'll know I've grown up once I stop dreaming. I studied hard, enrolled as a student in the academia, and went on to become a researcher. Sure enough, I never dreamed again. But then, on the day I scared the little Aranara, I suddenly saw a dream again. It was incredible. Though I don't exactly remember what I saw, I clearly recall the feeling. I suddenly felt like I was a child again. Back then, I was foolish and ignorant as any youth would be, but I was free of fear. Maybe dreaming isn't as bad as we've made it out to be. Just be sure not to speak of this if you travel to Sumeru City. They'll look at you as if you've lost your mind.
So, do you have any thoughts about the things he saw when he connected with Irminsul?
Sorry. I'm afraid I don't have any answers as of now. All I can say is that what you saw is a memory contained within Irminsul itself. World forget me. What could that possibly mean? If only I could ascend past Satyavada life and begin Paripurna life. I might have some more answers for you. If you two are ever in the area again, please be sure to come and see me.
Vielen Dank, Hypatia.
There's no need to be thanking me. You two are my saviors. Besides, I'm already looking forward to tasting some more of your cooking.
Eine lange Unterhaltung mit Hypatia verbringt ihr die Nacht in der Höhle.
Now that we know Hypatia is alright and had the chance to ask her some questions, Paimon thinks it's about time to head back to Gandharvaville.
Wie man am besten mit YouTube anfängt. Boah, das kann ich dir schwer beantworten. Das musst du dann selber schauen, wie das am besten geht. Vor allem, was du auch machen willst. Und wie fragt man seine Eltern am besten, ob man mit YouTube anfangen darf? Naja, Fragen kostet nichts. Am besten halt mal fragen und was du machen willst, wie es Pieps gesagt hat. Und zu Pieps, du hast es deinen verboten? Sind die nicht schon 18? Oder war nicht eine schon 18? Das sind momentan sehr viele lange Sequenzen. Ich meine, ich find's geil. Was ist das da oben? Kann ich mich da hinhocken? Ah, okay. Darf man mit 10 eigentlich mit YouTube anfangen? Ich glaube, ein Mindestalter dafür gibt... Gibt es dafür überhaupt ein Mindestalter? Ich meine, ich denke mal, es kommt dann eher drauf an, was du magst. Oh, das ist ein schönes Ding.